Alright guys, welcome to another route concept video. I believe we went over double slants and we went over Y stick. And remember, double slants is something that you could run against double high safety defenses. And Y stick was something you typically can use to attack single high safety defenses. So here we're going to add the levels concept and the smash concept in one video. And these are both very good against double high safety defenses. Okay, and they're very good because they're typically, these are route combinations you can actually complement with one another. And you know what, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the video. I got some footage of Peyton Manning running the levels concept, and then we got some in-game play footage of me running the concept to success against a cover 2 player. Alright, so I come out and forgot what my original play call was, but I noticed that, again, what's the pre-snap read? Remember, I know you guys are sick of me saying this, but it's, remember, 4-2-2-0-3-1. I know you're sick of it, right? I don't care what defense you call in the game, it's one of these 6 different shell coverages. This is single high, this is double high, right? So let's get the pre-snap read going. What do we see? We see double high, so it's not cover 3 or cover 1 if he's telling the truth. Okay, so it's 4-2-2 or 0. Further, reading of the defense will pinpoint what it is. We look at the corners, we see that they're playing about 5 yards off, outside leverage. This is cover 2 zone, right? So if he's telling the truth, if he's not lying, if he's not disguising coverage, this is cover 2 zone. Now, being that this was early on in the game, I didn't want to assume it was cover 2. I wouldn't have to assume. You could just post-snap read, right? Because the one thing about double high pre-snap looks is that it's easy to disguise it and actually be playing something totally different. So, this guy can go to deep middle and this guy can come down and, oh, you were actually in cover 3. And they can make that movement post-snap. When you're in single high pre-snap, it's harder to change it into double high post-snap because when the safety's down in the box, he's got to climb up the field to play deep half and he's typically out of position and stuff like that. So when in double high, it's easier to rotate and actually play cover 3 or cover 1 post snap. So with all that in mind, again, like the first drive is really like a diagnosis, like a scouting report on my opponent. So I decided to go ahead and run, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to eye these safeties during the run and see if they go to deep half, and when they do, that kind of confirms to me that, okay, it was cover 2, you were telling the truth. Okay, you see the safeties there? They were actually playing deep half, and there it was cover 2. So in this play, I like this play against single high, the play I got called. Yeah, this guy running like a little hitch here, and this guy's running like a dig. It's like a Salem concept. And against zones, when this guy jumps the underneath hitch pattern, we can hit the window behind with the deep dig. And if it's cover 1, I like to throw the corner over here with the tight end. So this play that I have called here is an incredible single high beater. Okay, but he's in double high, and this looks like cover 2. Okay, so I check out, and I check into a play to attack the weakness of cover 2. One of the weaknesses of cover 2 zone is the honey hole here. Okay, it's the space right behind the corner, outside of the safety, right? So I draw up a route to kind of hopefully hold the safety just a bit. And being I have a bona fide receiver out here, I expect him to take outside leverage on this corner, take that away, which would threaten the safety to have to gain a lot of ground horizontally as he's climbing. And we just rocket it in the hole there. Money. So at this point, this is where I'm like, okay, this guy's a cover 2 guy. He wants to sit in cover 2, and it makes sense. He has the Bears. He has a, terrific pass rush with Khalil Mack. So he's a cover 2 guy. That's fine. So I'm like, you know what? Let me run the smash concept. I haven't ran it in so long. I haven't ran it because no one runs cover 2 really anymore. So I'm like, you know what? I can run the smash concept. Let's go ahead. Let's do it. So what we're going to do, we're going to post-snap, confirm that he's playing deep half. When he does that, that's when I know, okay, it's cover 2, because the pre-snap read is cover 2. But I always want to confirm. When he goes deep half, okay, cover two zone. Let's look at the corner next. And if he jumps the hitch, I throw the fade pattern there. If he plays the fade pattern, then I throw the hitch. I think I did it on the next play. Wow, I was that concerned about this guy. This guy's in coverage, and I don't know why. So I chose to run it. I didn't have to. That was stupid. I could have just stuck with the run. I mean, with the pass. So I guess I finally did it here when an idiot, right? Oh, I know why. Maybe it's because I was on the hash and I wanted more room for these routes over here. So, I don't like the post, the double post on this side, so I changed that. Man, I'm way too cautious here. This is for cover three over here. So if this guy, the second defender in wants to jump the flat, then I can throw the comeback. If he sits behind on that comeback in cover three, then I can throw the flat. But I'm way too cautious here. This guy is going to sit in cover two. I need to understand. Like, he ran it like 4 straight times. Okay, deep half. Okay, it's definitely cover two. Now get our eyes on the corner. Corner sinks. Throw the hitch. It's easy 6 yards. I got it. Chose to go back to the run. And here I added in a little flair here. Because, we're going wide side. I decided to put this guy in motion over here to kind of add some attention. Like, okay, it's trips. And watch how the user fights over to the trip side post-snap, afraid of that bubble screen, which kind of opens up the run a little bit more inside. I could have took that inside because the defender inside abandoned his run fit, the user. I could have climbed it right inside. I'm going to stick with the smash concept, I assume, here. Okay, ID the safety, then get to the corner. Okay, we throw underneath. Take it outside. He missed the tackle. There you go. Right? So here, this is where you see how he's getting tired of getting gashed, right? He's sitting in cover two. I mean, that's what route concepts can do. Different concepts that beat different coverages. When you're running that type of stuff on guys, then they're like, all right, man, I'm tired of getting gashed. I'm checking out. And that's what he did. So I just checked into a single high beater. And we got a touchdown here. Okay, but everything was kind of set up by just going downfield and running our smash concept. I really don't need to show any more of this, but I guess I might as well. This guy's running cover two. We're on the wide side of the field. This guy's going to climb up field, kind of threaten the safety, but he has way too much ground to cover, and I'm going to attack the honey over here. Watch how much of a shoebox throw this really is. But I felt confident in throwing it, knowing that it's covered two and knowing that that's the weakness in the coverage. Watch how good of a coverage this is, but we're still able to make the throw because we know the weakness of the coverage. Right in the basket. Okay, so this is why I want to show some more. So I'm like, is this where I did it? No, I didn't do it here. So when you get to this point, because we know Smash, we can do stuff like this. We can just go to Smash, and we can go through our playbook and just, you could be running plays you've never ran before, but be confident in running it in the middle of a game because you understand the concept. It's not about the plays, it's about the concepts within the play. So I know the concept. Never ran this play before, I don't think. But hey, I can run it because I know they're going to put a stretch on that corner over here. An outside breaking, he's running like a burst corner. And we have a flat pattern attacking the corner over there. And this guy's going to be in cover too. I like this play because in this play, you also have like the snag concept, right? You have the spot route, a corner, and a flat route. It's like a triangle, right? So that would be something you can deal with against single high. And we incorporate, I mean, so many different things, like variations to make stuff real creative. We incorporate motion with this too, right? So the running strength for the formation is over here with the 3 tight ends, but then we kind of balance out the running strength for the formation by bringing this guy over, and we have the flat pattern running here. And that's one of the things with motion. You kind of force your opponent to have to react, but they really don't have a lot of time to react, especially cover 4 teams and stuff of that nature. You add, I mean, you just add a whole nother element to your game when you're running the same concept from different formations. So think about it. We ran that formation on this guy with the smash concept. After a while, he can sit in cover two and make minor adjustments to his cover two to better defend what you were doing. But what if we come out and we run smash from here, and then the next play we run smash from a different formation, then we run it from a different formation 3 plays later? He can never get a feel for when you're going to run it because you're running it from different looks, right? So keep that in mind, man. That's why it's important, I think, to learn concepts, not plays. Okay, plays is one thing. Learning concepts is like learning 40 plays when you learn one concept. So, well, I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to keep going. So we'll go to the levels concept and show you that in game. But you know what? I wanted to show you because you didn't get a case to see it in that game. Your opponent may get sick and tired. Like maybe he's a cover two guy and he just wants to sit and cover two all game. And you're running the smash concept and he's sick and tired of his corner backing up and playing that corner route or burst corner or whatever you have over there, the fade pattern. So then they go to hard flat cover two, and you'll see it here. Again, that's why you always want to, we ID the safety, and then we look at the corner. And when you see the corner sit like that, well, now look at the pattern behind it that we have. He's wide open. Throw outside shoulder. There you go. I mean, that's what football is all about. It's all about running concepts, forcing you to have to adjust to deal with, specific routes that you're sick or tired of getting burned on, and then we have something to complement that route to attack you trying to adjust to that. It's just a forever game of strategy. All right, so here I wanted to show some in-game action of because we're gonna get into the levels concept now, where Peyton Manning was running this levels concept here. And, this guy, I mean, this was probably his favorite concept to run in the passing game. Man, if you ever go watch, just go watch some games of, Brady, Breeze in their prime and stuff like that. You go take a look at those offenses that were scoring a lot of points. When I take a look at Manning games, all I see are route concepts. Like, you know what I mean? So, you want to be able to be a prolific passing offense, go look at the best offenses and see what they do. They run route combinations and route concepts like all the time. Like that's just what they run, right? So here we have the levels concept. What's going to happen is Reggie Wayne's going to run like a deep dig, and then Dallas Clark inside is running an underneath in route. Okay, and he's going to key on a defender inside here. I believe it was Woodson. And, when he takes, Woodson's going to end up jumping underneath in route, so he throws the dig pattern behind to Reggie Wayne. Let's go ahead and watch it. And it's 3rd and 4, so this is a, key part of the drive. You want to keep the drive going.
It is 3rd and 4. And throws complete. Reggie Wayne has the first.
Really interesting what they're doing. They're putting Reggie Wayne inside where a tight end used.
So, I mean, what's crazy is how reactive this guy is. Like some quarterbacks in this situation, they may have predetermined that they're going to the underneath in route. And even if they didn't predetermine it, the initial movement by this player here going upfield at first may have instantly told the quarterback, like, okay, I got to go underneath now, right? But you will see him take initial steps upfield and then try to fight to get underneath, and he slips and falls because of it. But he's trying so hard to jump underneath on this underneath in route. What that ends up doing is because Wayne's climbing upfield and goes inside, this defender is now forced to defend that deep dig pattern, but he has outside leverage on that route, and Reggie Wayne has inside leverage on him. So, you're able to just throw that deep dig, and that's exactly what Manning does. He's so reactive. Your coverage dictates where he's going to go, not the play. And that's what makes him, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Let's watch it.
Plays, trying to get better matchups. And that time it's Reggie Wayne across the middle.
So, now that we're getting into more and more passing concepts, obviously I think we went over double slants and we went over the stick concept, Y stick. Well, now you can start packaging those combinations together on the same play to exploit whatever the defense is doing. So remember, Y stick is good against single high defenses like cover three and cover one. So, that's what I have here. We have stick going here. I think on this play, I left this guy on a deep fade pattern. I would like to get him on a comeback pattern every time. I don't know why I didn't do it here. And then, so that's good for single high, but then we have something for double high on this side, which is the levels concept. Okay, so here we see we're packaging routes combinations together to exploit whatever they throw at us. So here, because it's single high, I should work this side of the field and look at the second defender in. If he goes upfield, I can throw the flat, which I did. And we pick up a measly 5 yards, but actually we pick up 7. So same play, single high again. So I should work the Y stick again. This time I put him in a comeback pattern. He goes upfield. I threw it kind of late, and I pressed X. I shouldn't have pressed X. I should have pressed square so I can keep the ball. So here he checks into double high. So now I can work the level side. And here's in double high, again, you get cover two zone, cover two man, that sort of thing. This looks like cover two man because they're playing inside leverage underneath. Okay, so again, we can read this guy, and when he goes upfield, we can look to throw the underneath in pattern. The thing is, against two man, you can work your matchup issues as well. So being that I know it's man, when he goes upfield with them, I know it's man-to-man coverage. And being that I like this matchup with my tight end Waller against a linebacker, I believe, that's where I want to go with the ball, right? So should see it here. As you can see, Ruggs still gets inside, inside leverage on this guy, but it's not a lot of space created because it's two man, and this is a good corner on him, okay? So, when it's two man, you can work your matchup issue on this on the level side. If it's zone, then you just read the second defender in, and he kind of dictates where you can go with the ball. In most cases, you can just throw underneath because he'll run with the second defender in up the field. In most cases, you hope, theoretically. So we throw it inside, and we score a touchdown on this. Threw a honey hole shot on that guy again. He was in two zone. So now let's take a look at different variations you can see in your playbooks when you go to levels, and you can see how creative you can get when running the levels concept. So here I went to the Bills playbook, and I checked out their different plays that have levels in it. So as you can see, like, it's a different variation where this guy's kind of running like a corner, not even an in pattern. He's running an outside in. So I wouldn't necessarily call that levels, but you kind of get the same same look underneath, right? But here's definitely levels. You have a guy running the dig pattern and then the in pattern underneath. But what I find most creative here is this right here. Gun doubles, flex bills. Their play here is very creative because what it does is, let me show you. You get a motion and a motion into a stack look. And again, the beauty about motion is that, you don't have, like when you come out in this formation, they can make adjustments, move around and stuff like that. And then at the last second, you motion into like a different look, and they really don't have a lot of time to make, adjustments and things of that nature. That's one of the benefits of running motion, incorporating it with your offense. But as you can see, we're going to go into the stack position, and we can just read the second defender in, and you'll see what happens. It's double high. We know levels attacks double high. He goes up with them, so we can just throw underneath inside 7 yards. Run it again, and you see it again. That time I waited a little bit to see how the game has it coded with everything else, but he remained open all the way down the field. So, one thing you can do, you may say, well, what about the user, right? What if this guy starts usering this player in cover two zone, and he jumps the underneath in route, right? Well, again, that's what plays. You should have something in the play that helps counter an adjustment like that. So think about it, in cover two zone, if this guy were to user the middle linebacker in two zone and he jumps the underneath in route, what does he vacate? Well, his responsibility is to play deep middle as the three receiver Tampa 2 player, right? And we have something attacking that area of the field. You see that post pattern from this side? So, I mean, this play here should destroy double high safety defenses badly. Because even within the play, when you decide to take someone from outside of the picture to attack and defend the underneath in route, and then you have the dig pattern covered with this guy, well, now since you vacated this area, we can hit the post, right? If they were to take this guy and play underneath over here, and we can throw the post maybe a little bit sooner, or throw the flat pattern, I mean, you can go on and on and on. The more you displace different players of your team, we should have options to attack that. If it gets too frisky pre-snap and they start moving guys around, you can always check out and check into something that's better against the look that they give you. So one thing I noticed was, in this particular play, the fact that they motion into a stack, this play is probably excellent against cover two man to man because you can't press, right? So this is two man, pre-snap read, two deep safeties, and then you have corners on the line of scrimmage playing inside leverage. So they should press at the line of scrimmage, right? Watch what happens when we motion. You see how they move? That's because when receivers are in stack looks, defenses typically don't want to press because they don't want to get rubbed and picked off when these receivers run their routes, right? So the benefit of this, creative motion that we incorporate with this levels concept from this play is that we get free releases from our receivers even when they're trying to jam. So what I decided to do was let me double check this theory and, play the defensive side of the ball and press, because you can still press them as long as you press down and get them in the press look, and see if they still get free releases if I do that. And also what I did was I put these guys in the curl flats because that's something that you typically see. I guess it's meta, and I I remember one of my guys asked me, what do you do in situations like that? And this is a good example because it's the Ravens. He said that they have the Ravens and they have guys who, typically just better in man-to-man coverage against your guys. So they can get away with stuff like that where they take this guys and curl flat and they just play man underneath. Well, if you have receivers that can't get open, you got to find plays within your playbook that manufacture separation for your receivers. So if your receivers aren't good enough, you got to design plays to make them good enough in getting separation. And this is a play that you can run. So I press with the defense, and I put those guys in curl flat, and watch how he still gets a free release. Free release. Get it inside. So now I did the same thing, I believe. I press everyone down, but then I press the over top adjustment to see how it would play out. And again, we still get really good separation there to pick up an easy 5 yards. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I mean, those are two different route combinations that you can add to your arsenal. Go in your playbooks, see what they have in the playbook underneath those particular route combinations, and see what type of stuff they have. They might have some creative motion to incorporate with the play and etc. And this is just a couple of route combinations you can incorporate to attack double high defenses because they're both pretty good against double high. Now, one thing I failed to mention is the hitch, the smash concept. Against two man, you really can't throw this hitch pattern. So, I would advise that you put your best receiver running the corner pattern, because against man to man, you may be able to work that guy in man to man coverage with this guy. Okay, but against zone, it's a cover two destroyer because the corner can't do anything. There's nothing he can really do. So, hope you got some understanding on this, and keep coming back.